Do your prospects and teams feel heard? A lot of us want to think that we make sure that the people that we care about feel heard by us. As leaders and as customer service people, as professionals in professional service, we need that. And I want to talk about how you get to certainty that the people around you feel heard. One of the key ingredients that everyone knows about, everyone talks about in terms of making sure people feel heard, it's active listening. And active listening is different from plain old listening. In plain old listening, I hear what you're saying. Now, if I'm really listening, I'm also processing and learning from what you're saying. If I'm active listening, I'm giving it back so that you hear me say back what you said. That's how you know I heard you. Simple feedback loop. That's what active listening is. I think we can do better. But it's a great start, and a lot of people don't do that. They nod. That's a version of active listening. What we have found is that people respond best when you literally give back their words. So someone says, I feel pushed around. A good thing to say back to them, so let me make sure I get this. You're feeling pushed around. They're going to feel heard because you just said what they said. So that's step one, literally parrot back. You can add words and change words, but generally speaking, they want to hear some of their words to know that you actually listened. That's a good start. The thing you don't know from that is if you really get it or not. I can say back your words and not understand them. So the next step is to interpret, put it in your own words. So once I have parroted back what they said, I like to put it in my words. So you said that you felt pushed around. Are you saying that what's happening is we're coming in and forcing our views and not asking you about your side? Are we not collaborating well? If I can interpret and they agree with my interpretation, now I know that I listened. So look at those two things. First, I showed them I heard them. Secondly, I interpreted, put it in my own words, and then I verified that I actually do understand. You're much closer to an understanding at that point if you do those two things. But I want to give one more thing. People don't necessarily give a complete story. Some people really spend a lot of time venting about the frustrations. Other people have big goals on their mind, and other people are focused on the tasks. You really want to bring all three of those into a simple story. Stories are beginning, middle, and end. Stories are problem, solution, outcome. As a leader and facilitator in communication, I want to make sure that you shared with me what problems we're talking about. And that you probably did. But did we balance that out with the goals that you have? So it's the problems you have and the goals you have. And then did we talk about action steps so that I'm active listening around problems, solutions, and outcomes? Those three things together make a complete story. Okay, so this is where you are. Yes. This is where I'm trying to be. Yes. And these are the steps that we're talking about to get there. If you can do those three things, I parrot back to make sure they feel heard. I interpret and put it in my words to make sure that I actually understand. And third, I do that for problems, solutions, and outcomes to create that beginning, middle to end story. That is a fantastic way to make sure the clients that you lead and work with and serve, and the teams you lead and work with and serve all feel heard.